Hello there, Michael, the Mercedes guy again. We're going to show you how to clean out the drains on a 123 body. And there's about 20 drains. Without a sunroof, 16 drains approximately. So we're going to do the under the hood drains, and on 123s they have these little catches that you can release and tip the hood all the way up. Get it out of your way. Now, I highly recommend you first tie a rope around the grill and go back and tie a knot in it so that you open your trunk lid, slip the knot in, close the trunk lid so you have a safety line. Because if a gust of wind comes up, this thing will come crashing down on you. Okay, so on 123, there's 2 drains under the hood, and I'm pointing right to that one, and that drain comes out under your car. Now, these drains are plastic up front, so they're pretty easy to clean out without poking a hole through it. I'm using 1/16 gas welding rod, and on the very end I'm just going to put a little bit of a hook. You don't want too large this way, or it won't go down the drain easily. So anyway, we're going to poke that down in there. And as you can see, it comes out here. Then you just go ahead and pull it out. Now, if you run into crap, you may be able to pull it up, pull the obstacles up and grab them. It's nice to have a vacuum cleaner ready. Now, this is part from a shop vac, but the reducing attachment from a regular vacuum cleaner will work. And put on a hose to reduce it down. And now I got some kind of stiff plastic hose here. And you can duct tape on that and cut it about so long. And you can run that down with your vacuum cleaner. So, okay. For the sunroof drains, it's a little bit trickier. First off, I'm going to show you on this parts card the locations, because I've already sold the sunroof. So, lots of times your door check doesn't work. So, a 2x, which is actually only 1.5 inches, is what you want to put right in there. Right there, or just beyond the weather strip. Bingo. Now that thing won't come back on you. Okay, since the sunroof's out, I can show you the impossible to get to rear drains. And it's a tube that actually goes into the trunk. So, to get to clean the rear drains, you want to run something up opposite direction. For the front drains, they're easily accessible when the sunroof is open. And as you can see, they're right here. And that goes down into your, behind the front fenders. For that drain, you can also use your welding rod. Be very careful, because this drain, these sunroof drains, are rubber with no fiber in the rubber. So you can actually poke a hole in it if you aren't careful. So, you fish this down in there and work at it. Then, you can use your small diameter, very flexible, but yet not too flexible. This isn't like vacuum line. This is plastic. And I showed you previously how to hook this up to a vacuum cleaner, and you can fish, you can run that. You probably need about 4 or 5 feet. You run that all the way down and do this motion with your vacuum cleaner running. And occasionally you want to pull it out, and there'll be stuff plugged around this. You want to clean that off, and then do it again and again, and you can do your front drains. Okay, your rear drains, I've discovered, are not accessible from the trunk. The only way you're going to be able to do the rear drains without damaging your headliner, you first just rip off these rear sill covers. They just pull off, and you just pound them on real easy. Then you remove this trim, and if your trim's bad, this is the time to have it recovered. Anyway, we need this trim off. Then this rear upholstery panel pulls off. And if you have a long flat or a long screwdriver, it would help. I didn't bring one down here. Come on. Here we go. I was able to get in at the top and pull that off. And you don't have to remove the seat belt. And note that these are held on with a clip here, clips up this, and when you pull it off, the clip stays there. So when you put it on, you gotta get it right exactly back to its original location and start beating it on. And you want to get that right up there where it belongs and pound it on. Okay, so next step, you peel this foam insulation back a bit to expose your sunroof. Now, note, I'm doing this on a parts car that have already taken the sunroof assembly completely out. So the headliner's wrecked. And I'm going to show you how you can get this headliner off. You want to pop out this retaining clip, and it comes out with a screwdriver. So once you have this panel off, there's this plastic retaining clip. that you can work out of there. And that's what the clip looks like. You want to, when you reassemble, you want to pop that back in. Now, with this door trim off, this headliner becomes loose at the front. And this is the tricky part. These headliners are put in before the rear glass is put in. So this is tucked underneath that rubber. You're going to have to pull it out a little bit. When you go to put it back in, use a putty knife with a bend on the end, and you can get it back under the rubber. So you pull this up, and there is your rear drain right there. And it's going to be attached to the sunroof pan, so you need to kind of push it off of the sunroof pan, and then you can fish down there with the welding rod, or as I just showed for the front drains, with the flexible plastic tube hooked to your vacuum cleaner. And then you want to get this back on to the steel tube from the sunroof pan. Put your headliner back, put that clip back in there, and you want to do the clip first so it locates properly. And then what I like using is a little bit of contact cement, and so it holds that back in place. And then your door trim pushes on real hard, put it back, and then your panel goes back on. Now do note, this clip plastic surface here lots of times gets partially broken off. Almost every time I pulled one, it breaks off a little bit of that plastic. But there's still enough here to grab it. So this goes back on, and you've got your drain clean.